blindly, away from the noise, the uneven torchlight making strange, panicked patterns on the spindly gums and shrubs. The screaming, it seemed, came from all around, and above it were their own breaths, ragged and panting. They ran through the screaming bush for what may have been seconds, but felt like years. The trees distorted, limbs reaching out and scratching at their faces. And then, just as suddenly, it stopped. The teenagers kept moving. Evan thought they must have passed the council lines and were back into familiar territory when Sarah called out in pain. He turned to see the younger girl lying on her stomach and sobbing. "Get up!" Evan cried, harsh against the wails, but the girl did not move. He gave the phone to Emma and reached down to grab Sarah. He pulled her up in one movement, and she stood there, swallowing sobs and wiping snot across her face. "Let's go," Evan said, still rattled. The screams had been different tonight, more intense, higher pitched. But Emma had not moved. Instead, she was staring down the length of the torchlight's beam, and the other two followed her gaze. There, curled up in the brush, was the body of a man. The rain, when it came, was torrential. Fat surges of it, racing into gutters, rivers and streams. No rain for 3 years. Then this. Young kids marvelled at it. Tree changers had long baths outside in it, and the old farmers muttered about the strangeness of it. The timing, the intensity. Not a drop in winter. Now it was almost the end of spring, and the clouds were exploding with the stuff every few days. Jacqueline Mattison lay awake, listening to it pelt on her tin roof. Even if it had come when they needed it, it still wouldn't have been the right sort. Too sudden, too damaging for pre-harvest. Gushing rain, and now the berries ruined, the crops probably flattened. A sound from outside. Not the rain. Sludging? Running? The porch creaked. Jacqueline sat up in her bed and reached automatically at the empty space beside her. A sound at the front door now. A muffled shout, and was it? Yes. Low whispering. Frantic. Her first thought was the girls. She swung her legs over the side of the bed and reached for the chair. "Who is it?" she called, and with effort raised herself off the bed and lowered herself into the chair, manoeuvring the wheels around the bed. The sound was definitely her girls, and now she felt a fear rise in her throat, because it's every farmer's nightmare. An accident on the farm. Before she could reach it, the door was flung open, and her two youngest daughters, Emma and Sarah, stood there, drenched. And who was that behind them? Evan? Sarah was choking back sobs, the other two pale and shivering. "What is it?" Jacqueline asked sharply. "There's a man," Emma said. "Along Stony Creek. He's what?" Jacqueline felt a deep dread. She'd been through this before. "Has there been an accident? Where? Tell me." "It's Aidan Sleeth," Evan said. "I think he's been shot." Chapter 1. Detective Senior Sergeant Mark Ariti stamped his feet hard on the front porch of Jacqueline Mattison's house. Outside was raven black. Rain pelted hard. Inside, though it was barely 2 a.m, the living room was lit up like a showground and filled with people young and old. Mark recognised no one. Stonetown, barely 25 kilometres from where he lived, in Baralama, may as well have been another universe. Consisting mainly of old farming families and an influx of tree changers, the area was known for its mines, remnants of settler stone houses scattered about the bush, and significant wheat yield. Riveting, Mark remembered thinking in Year 10 local history. Take that, Machu Picchu. But the gold from Stonetown was long gone, and it had been years since farmers' sons returned from boarding schools to make a life on the land. Stonetown.